So welcome folks. Today I'm gonna show you one Philips. This is HiQ International record player. So I bought this one local guy, and he said that the platter is moving, but there is no response from the amplifier section. So let's just plug it in and see what happens. I guess it's already plugged in. So here you can see the start button. Okay, so it actually kind of moves. This is 33. This is too automatic, I guess. Let's try this again. This is 33 and okay. Yep, looks like 45 rpm. I'm not gonna try 78 because I don't have any 78 rpm records. But strangely enough, this light doesn't light up, and also this switch has no function at all because, as you can see, this has no response. So I think this switch has been bypassed. Anyway, as far as I know, this turntable is based on a AC synchronous motor, so this basically runs on 220 volt AC. So that makes me think there is something wrong with the transformer, because see, this light is not working but this motor is spinning. That means there is something wrong with the transformer or the power supply section. So I guess let's just tear it apart and see what's inside of this. So here you can see the inside of that machine. It has been disassembled. So this is a central trap, I mean the central tap transformer. So we have two phases which is connected to the diode, and we have one ground point. So this looks there's nothing complicated in this. This is a basic power supply, and this connection is for the lamp. And actually I have tested this lamp before, and I guess it's hidden in this. You can't see this lamp from here, but it's somewhere here. Anyway, I have tested the lamp before and it kind of works. It's actually, the lamp is fine. There's something wrong with this transformer, since we have power at this terminal but we have no power across this. We have power across this terminal and we don't have power across the output. So this tells me there is something wrong with this transformer. So let's check this transformer now. So now we are checking the voltages across the transformer. First we are going to check the input voltage, the supply voltage to the transformer. For that I'm just using a jumper wire, and I've connected the input terminals to the meter. I have set the meter on AC voltage of 500 volt. Now let's turn this on. So as you can see, we have power running into this setup, 233 volts. But as you can see, there is something in between this transformer. First let me unplug this. Yep, this is unplugged. So you can see we have one phase which is going directly into the transformer, okay, and the other phase, you can see we have one wire which is running up till here. There is something in between this. We have to check what's this. And from here we have the other phase going into the transformer. So let's just check what's hiding inside of this. I'm not sure what's there inside this. What the heck is this? Philips A342553. I have no clue what's this. I guess this is some sort of power register which is using, I guess, which is switching 220 volt to 110 volt. I'm not sure what's this. I haven't seen anything like this before. So let's find this part number on Google and let's see whether we can get any result or not. So we can just bypass this fuse and see what happens. I mean, there's another fuse in the secondary side after it has been rectified into DC. I'm not saying this is unnecessary. It is necessary, but as of now we can just bypass this. I'm not gonna bother desolder this and just tear it apart, and then we'll just short these terminals where the fuse was present. Come on, man. Fine. And let's plug this on and let's hope nothing unfortunate happens. Oh, that's actually a very nice sign, because I can see the indicator light glowing, which was not glowing previously. So this tells me this transformer is actually working, and this power supply is also. I guess it's fine, but we have to test the voltages and all. So let's do that. So I have attached a new fuse in this area, in this holder, and this is 1 ampere fuse, and we'll check the voltages across this terminal. And if something is wrong with this transistor area, then this will straight away blow up. Let's find out what happens. And as expected, it did blow up. This tells me something is wrong with this power transistors. Let's find out. So this is the main amp and preamp section of the record player. So on the left hand side we have the two speaker outputs, left and right, and this is, I guess, this is tuner and tape inputs, and we have the selector switch here for phono, tuner and tape. These are the controls: bass, treble, balance and volume, and this is the power button. We'll also have to repair this since this wasn't working properly and it was bypassed. So we're going to check this two transistors and these two transistors. Most likely these are some sort of push-pull configuration, but unfortunately I'm not able to get the number. It has been rusted and the number is not clear, so I don't know the configurations of this transistor. But mainly what happens is, with this type of power transistor, the body is collector, and yeah, that's it. We don't have any more info on these transistors. We'll have to be somewhat creative with this and see whether this is repairable or not, or else we can just directly swap out this power amp section. This can also be done, but this will not preserve the originality of the system. So we'll try to repair this board by replacing these transistors. So you can have a look at this. This is the preamp board, and from here, this terminal, you can see this wire. I don't think whether you're able to see. Yeah, you can see this wire. This is the point where the cartridge lead enters the circuit, and there is another similar wire like this somewhere around here. This is not visible, but there is another point where the other channel enters from the ceramic cartridge, and this finally gets amplified into this point, and from this point this part feeds into this power amp section. So technically we can attach one amplifier here and see whether this preamp section is in a working condition or not. So in the next part we'll just do that and see whether this is working or not. So I have pulled out the transistors. Now I'll check them and find out whether these are shorted or not. For that I have collected this body to one probe, and I'll test the base and emitter points of this transistor. I don't know whether you are able to see or not in transistor. Okay, yeah, you are able to see. There is one point called emitter E, and there is another B. So this is emitter and this is base. So I'm going to check between collector and emitter whether this is shorted or not. So this is shorted, as you can see. Wait, just let me make myself comfortable. See, this is indeed shorted, and between collector and base this is not shorted. Since the body was grounded, so and there is no mica sheet in between the body and the ground, I mean the body and this body of this transistor and the body of this heat sink. So this makes me think this is an PNP transistor. This is PNP transistor, and since we have one mica sheet here, so this must be NPN transistor. Unfortunately you won't be able to see. Okay, you can see it's AD162, and you can Google if you want and see the specifications. It's a general purpose power transistor, and for the other transistor it's more or less it's same, just it's complementary of this PNP transistor, and also the gain is slightly different. So in a similar manner, I have connected the negative probe to the collector, and then I'll check the collector and base. Yes, this is shorted too. So this definitely needs to replace these two transistors, and the other two transistors, this two, for the right channel I checked, this looks actually fine. There is no issue with this. So technically if we power up this amp section now, then it won't be blowing up the fuse now. So let's do that now. So we have the fuse replaced, you can see here, And also I've connected a speaker to the working side of this amp, and now we need to check whether this fuse blows up again or not. Ideally it shouldn't be blowing up because we don't have a short across the terminals now, so let's just find out what happens. Yes, I have applied power and it seems this fuse has not blown up now. And also, as you can see, this indicator light is glowing up, and I don't know whether this is audible or not, but we see a light hum from the speaker. This tells me this amp is now working. At least one channel is working and the other channel will not work until we replace the transistors. Yes, this is working. So now we need to check the preamp section whether it's working or not.